Welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about a book that I just finished, and its name is Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. This book is a collection of short stories, and the common theme that runs across all these seven stories is that all of these men are without women. They have lost the women that they loved and or they lived with because of various reasons, and we'll be talking about these stories in a little while. The author of the book is Haruki Murakami. He's an acclaimed, globally acclaimed writer, and he hails from Japan. And he gives lots of references from Japan in his works. The name of the first story is Drive My Car. Now, Drive My Car is a story about a man who was cheated on by his wife, and his wife has died of cancer now. But he becomes friends with another man with whom his wife was cheating. So please read the whole story to know about what exactly happened. The name of the next story is Yesterday. Now this title is given because there's a song called Yesterday, uh, which the character keeps humming, and this is a story about not teenage but young adults, uh, you know, relationships, and how somebody can leave someone for another, and that's how a young man is now a man without a woman. The next story is called An Independent Organ. Now this story is a little sexist and misogynistic. I would say a lot sexist and misogynistic because of the thing that the author says in this story, that women have an independent organ, an organ that men do not possess, and because of this they can lie without feeling a heavy conscience, and they can not even and they can lie on your face without changing their voice and making you feel that they have lied. So this story is problematic. The name of the next short story is a little difficult to pronounce. It's Cesarade. Now this is a story about a man and a woman. This man is a professional. He has come to a city for some time, and he is, uh, sleeping with a woman who's also in a way his helper, in that city. But also they are, sleeping with each other, and uh, this is a story about how this woman tells him so many stories, and there's an absurd story also about how this woman went into uh, the house of a crush and stole pencils and other things, and uh, which is quite a thing that you will only find in a Murakami work. So if you are a person who is lover of all the Murakami books, you can please go for it. Otherwise you might find it a little weird that how is this happening, how can anybody do it. The name of the next story is Kino. In this story there's this man who has been betrayed by his wife, and now his wife lives with one of his work colleagues, and now this man has left his wife and now is running a kind of a cafe in another town in Japan. But this is one of another characteristics of his works, that he will make his protagonists to be his men to be kind of persons who are very chilled out, and this man is just like that. But the ending of the story is a little weird. The person leaves his cafe because someone tells him that he is not in the right place. But this story has some really good philosophical value, and I like this story, but the ending is a little absurd. The name of the next short story is Samsa in Love. If you have read uh, um Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, then you might be familiar with Gregor Samsa. Now this is the same character, and he has borrowed that character. I found this story to be very boring in the beginning and very depressing also. But in the last 3-4 pages, it is really a good short story. You might go for it. So basically what happens in this is that the character in the protagonist of this short story turns goes through metamorphosis and turns into a very strange being, and it's basically inspired from Metamorphosis short story, novella that's written by Franz Kafka, so you can read it. The next short story is called Men Without Women, and this is less of a short story but more like an essay of how he feels about men that are without women. And he says some philosophical things about how men uh, who are without women can be easily identified. He says that it's quite easy to become a man without women. You love a woman deeply, and then she goes off somewhere. That's all it takes to be a man without women. Now, let me read some quotes from this book that I really liked. And it goes, life is strange, isn't it? You can be totally entranced by the glow of something 1 minute, be willing to sacrifice everything to make it yours, but then a little time passes, or your perspective changes a bit, and all of a sudden you are shocked at how faded it appears. What was I looking at, you wonder? Another one is, I wasn't hurt enough when I should have been, Kino admitted to himself. When I should have felt real pain, I stifled it. I didn't want to take it on, so I avoided facing up to it. Which is why my heart is so empty now. The snakes have grabbed that spot and are trying to hide their coldly beating hearts there. Another one is, no matter how empty it is still my heart. There's still some human warmth in it. Memories like seaweed wrapped around pilings on the beach. Wordlessly waiting for high tide. Emotions that, if cut, would bleed. I can't just let them wander somewhere beyond my understanding. So, all in all, I would say this is an average book. I have not read any of the other works from Mr. Haruki Murakami, and I have heard highly of some other works of his, but I can't say uh, what I feel about them until I've read them. But this book is an average book. So, if you uh, are feeling a little lonely and you want to read something that resonates with you, because we find solace in kind of literature that we resonate with. So if you want to read a kind of book that you want to resonate with and you are feeling lonely, then this is the kind of book that this is the book that you would like. But otherwise, the short stories, some of them are good. The last ones, Samsa in Love, I particularly didn't like that at all. The ending was fine. Otherwise, this book is an average book. If you want to go for it, go for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't really recommend it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back next Sunday. Till then, take care, stay safe. Thank you.